to welcome everyone to the call tonight. You know, I sort of sent off the email to say to everyone, I know that right now we all have different things that we're working on. We all have different, you know, for a lot of us that have come on the call tonight, some of you are already SWAT students. This is not a sales call. I want to be really clear. I'm actually going to mute everybody's line because I can hear a little background noise there. Liz, can you just go in there and mute everyone's line for me?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Just mute everybody out, everybody that's talking other than me. Thank you.
Okay.
So I get, you know, and I want to be very clear tonight, this is not a sales call at all. There will be no selling, there's no upselling, there's no glitches, there's no hitches, there's no you got to give me some money to get something in return. This is really a way that I'm offering a payday out to you, which in turn is going to help support me, which in turn hopefully is going to help support millions of women around the world. So that's really what this call is about, and I want to really be clear from the get-go that this is a conversation that's about how can we come together, all doing what we do, all loving what we love, all having, you know, the different areas of our life that we're passionate about. And I know some of you maybe are with the SWAT Institute already. Maybe some of you have, you know, for example, you know, you're already maybe a therapist, maybe a coach, maybe a trainer, maybe an author, maybe, you know, and I really get that we are all busy. We are all busy. But, you know, about 10 years ago, I actually think it was longer because I really had an epiphany when my children were born. And now my daughter's 19 and my other daughter is 17, turning 18 this year. It seems crazy to me to think that's really when the light bulb started turning on for me. And I don't want to make it too much about me at all right now because I want to get into really the global coalition and the mission of what I want to talk about tonight. But that's when, you know, actually I've told many of my SWAT students we have these live calls every week and we really get together and celebrate and commiserate and share and get some coaching. And we always say it's in the vault. We talk about things that we go, this is in the vault, right, between our SWAT, all of our SWAT students that get on those live calls. But you know, it was really amazing because I remember Deepak Chopra the first time that he was on Oprah Winfrey. In fact, Ariel Ford, who may be on the call tonight, maybe not, amazing publicist, amazing author, extraordinary woman, also the sister of the great Debbie Ford, rest in peace. I loved Debbie. She was a huge and amazing mentor to me. But Ariel Ford at the time was Deepak Chopra's publicist, and we actually talked about that first time that he ever went on Oprah. And I said, do you know, I wasn't a kid. I was in my 20s, my early 20s. I think I was probably 21, 22. I'd grown up in a world that was all about, it was body beautiful. It was a health club industry. My mother was a bodybuilder, and my husband, I got married very young, but he was at the time, you know, the boy I dated from high school, and he got into weights. And so everything was about very body beautiful. I'd never been exposed to body, mind, spirit medicine. I'd never been exposed to really healthy boundaries and really nurturing your body and really, I really been sort of more exposed to goal setting. If you want something badly enough, you can make it happen if you work really hard. You know, winning bodybuilding competitions or fitness competitions is a very extreme sport. Running health clubs, it was very much about getting the sales and overcoming objections, and you know, it was a very driven. And I think a lot of us live in that world. We live in a world where most of us, if we did come from the corporate world, and it wasn't even corporate for me, it was a health club world. It was all about numbers. It was all about productivity. It was all about making money. And I remember the first time, and I always felt, it felt empty to me. You know, I competed in the Miss Galaxy in 1994, and I remember being down there, 250 women selected from all over the world. We were competing to be Miss Galaxy, and they'd flown us in from all over, and I didn't know in the first rounds, because it was a bikini contest round and then a U.S. Army obstacle round. I didn't know in the first rounds that I was in 7th place. I had no idea. But it didn't matter. It felt so shallow. Not that I want to put any of that down, but it felt so like there's something more for me. There's something more for me. I want to be a part of something important, and this isn't it. And I went home, and I thought, marriage, babies, I just want to have children. I think I just want to love and be loved. And I got pregnant right away. I was married a few years. I got pregnant right away. And it really was having children that cracked me open. Going back to this Deepak Chopra interview, it was around that time that I saw him on Oprah Winfrey for the very first time. And he was talking about his book called Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. And I remember listening to him and thinking, I was just in awe. I had no idea at that age in my 20s that, you know, the tears you cry when you're sad have different chemicals in them than the tears you cry when you're happy, and that when you eat food with someone that you're uptight or angry around, your body doesn't process and digest the food properly as if you're at peace and relaxed. And, you know, I went out and bought that book. It was the first time I was just absolutely, wow. I had no idea there was a world out there. I'd never heard the word ego other than you got a big ego. That guy's got a big ego. And or having an ego is a good thing, a little healthy ego. I had never been exposed to the world now that I am completely immersed in. But it was the first time it woke me up. And I got pregnant within a couple of months of coming home from the Miss Galaxy. And I was so tired of Body Beautiful, and I just started to eat. And I know I've told everybody this story that have been in my life before, but I put on a heck of a lot of weight. I really did, like a ridiculous amount of weight. And didn't lose it all before I was pregnant again within the year with my second daughter. Having children broke me open. It broke my heart open. It broke me open to a place of love that I never knew existed before that time. I had 2 little girls, and I suddenly felt this fierce need to protect my daughters and to make sure they didn't go through the things that I'd gone through, sexual abuse. I mean, continuous sexual abuse on a nightly basis, and a stranger rape, and, you know, the beginnings of cervical cancer at 17. And I just seemed to always somehow be in a position of feeling disempowered, whether it was that marriage, my first marriage, whether it was even at work, as fire as I could be, and I still have the same fire in me and the passion and the drive to work, but I just always seemed to be in a situation where, you know, a boss would come on to me, or a coworker would mean to me, or I didn't know empowerment. I didn't understand it, but I was a great person. I was a wonderful person. I really can say that, but I didn't understand how to communicate in a way that really was a win-win. My needs would always be met in a way that I would make sure someone else's needs were met, and communicating, negotiating, listening. So I feared communication because it could lead to confrontation. So I really avoided basically confrontation at almost all costs. And it all caught up with me like it does for a lot of us. But having these 2 little girls, I realized I have to heal the legacy for me. You know, my mother had her own abuse and her own situation, and many women, and as you know, now that I've worked with literally thousands upon thousands of women, it's just too prevalent. It's just still happening. And at that time, I began to dig in, and I sort of started really learning about the history of women. Like, what has gone on? Why is there such a, you know, why was there still such a tug of war with men, and I started to dig in, and I started to learn some of the history of women. I started to learn that, what? Are you joking me that 100 years ago, you know, other than Australia that had just adopted a law, New Zealand had just adopted a new law, that a woman nowhere in the world was considered a person by law. She wasn't considered a person. She couldn't vote. She had no rights over her own body. She couldn't own a piece of property. She couldn't get a bank account, a mortgage. She was literally a possession of her father's, and then she had to be passed to a husband. If her, for example, was a single woman and her parents died and there was assets, they couldn't be passed into her name because she was just merely a woman. I really began to understand sort of the legacy that has happened for all of us that are in industrialized nations, that this is still new. And then in the last 50 years, there's been such a breakthrough of women really recognizing and realizing we have to step into our power. I think the 80s were, you know, I think when the pendulum has been held too far one way, when it releases sometimes it goes too far the other way, but it has to be that way. And I think the 80s and the 90s were sort of about women saying, you know, whatever you can do, I can do. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if you can operate a bulldozer, I can operate a bulldozer. And if you can shoot a gun and fight in war, I can shoot a gun and fight in war. And if you can walk around really glaring at people and carrying a briefcase and having temper tantrums and being demanding and difficult and an egomaniac, I can be an egomaniac. And I get that we had to sort of, we're trying to find our place. And we haven't fully found it yet. That's the truth. And this is why the work that I'm doing here and my dream was about 10 years ago after I'd sort of had these kids who are now 19 and 17 was I want to be a part of. I certainly don't want to suggest I'm building it. There are so many of us building it. There are so many of us with this collective dream and this individual dream to do something bigger, to be a part of something bigger, to be involved in something bigger. You know, I loved and I paraphrase when the Dalai Lama said in 2009 at the Vancouver Peace Summit, World Peace Summit, but really what he said, I mean, I think he's talking to Western women. You know, we're in a world now where he says it over to Western women. It's going to go all over the world. But he said the Western woman will heal the world. And I just take that right out of there and just say, women will heal the world. It really has come time for women to heal the world. And as we know that, and this is not anti-man, this is not anti-anything. This is pro-love, this is pro-family, this is pro-empowerment, this is pro-equality. It really is time for more and more of us women to really recognize what is my talent, what is my gift, what am I here to offer in my regular life, in my professional life, in my personal life. And so, like I said, you know, as I began to do this work of healing myself, understanding the women who came before me, not always agreeing with them, but having compassion for them and understanding, wow, we had a different set of beliefs, and I was taught things based on what my mother was taught, what my grandmother was taught, and her mother wasn't even considered a person by law. My grandmother, being born in 1912, wasn't considered a person by law. So she was a real feminist in her own way, and she raised 6 daughters, all daughters, not one son in our family, my aunts, and a lot of angry, feminist, fabulous, talented women in my family who always talked about giving birth, and it was the most painful thing in the world, and men are and there was a lot of anger. You know, I think there was a lot of anger for a lot of women, but, you know, round up 6 women kind of like me, from 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, these were my aunts. And I knew I wanted to be part of that change. I wanted to be part of the change, and I wanted love. I wanted to be in a relationship and love a man. If I had sons, I wanted to love my sons. I didn't want to be an angry man-hater, but I would still look at what was going on in the world and go, there's huge changes that need to happen. There really are. You know, sometimes we get caught up when we talk about different religions. It has nothing to do with religions. But I will tell you this. Before there was any of those religions, there were a group of men about 6,000 years ago, and we can't be mad at men today, but there were a group of men about 6,000 years ago. And I laugh. I make jokes with all our women that are part of our coalition right now, or, you know, sort of this sort of a dream that we're building. And I say, I think they knew how strong we were. I think they knew when a man loves a woman, holy moly, she can get him to do just about anything. We got to strip these women of their power. They're going to make our men do crazy things. So women were literally stripped of their power. Did it fall in conjunction with different religions? Well, it did. Does that mean that religion is a bad thing? I would never say that. There is so much beauty in so many religions, and peace will only come when we can all find the beauty in each one of those, and we can be different. We don't all have to be the same culture. We don't have to be the same religion to have peace. So that's not what when I talk about having a global coalition, it's not about everybody being the same, but it is about equality for all, for every woman and every man and every child in every country around the world. Pray to whoever you want to pray to, love whoever you want to love, but have the right to make that choice. Have the right to decide how you want to dress. Have the right to decide how what you want to do. Have the right to decide if you want to drive a car. You have that right. This is my dream. And I'm really, really passionate about it. You know, after I had my daughters and I lost weight, it's funny because it was the world I was in, which was a nutritionist. Let me take a sip of water, one sec. And I do want to get to this quickly, but I just want to give you a little bit of a background. So the world I was in was nutrition and health and fitness. I ran a chain of health clubs. I competed in fitness shows. I'd grown up with a mother who was a bodybuilder. My husband at the time was a bodybuilder. This is what I knew. And I also knew how I felt when I sort of lost a part of myself. You can never lose yourself. That's the great news. But I sort of buried a part of myself in having children, and I think a lot of us do. And and I gained a lot of weight, and I realized that that weight that I gained was really signifying a need for me to protect. I just want to be a good mother. I just want to be a good wife. I just want to be and I went into that place. And as I started to lose the weight, I realized that there was a lot of really deep wounds that I needed to heal to feel safe, to be able to be safe in the world. And so as I started to heal that, I wrote my first book, Simply Woman. And I remember at the time coming up with that name, and funny enough, I was watching a Robert Palmer video, remember Simply Irresistible, and all the women were dancing and kicking their legs up, and I went, Simply Woman. That's all it is what does it mean to be a woman? Well, you know, interestingly enough, I'm writing a new book right now, and when I ask a woman, what does it mean to be a woman? So we have all these different archetypes. We have an archetype. In archetypes, what archetypes are is they're this way for the brain to shortcut, sort of make shortcuts, and sort of, you know, we can say a certain when you see the little apple with the bite out of the side of it, you know that's the Apple Store. That's Mac computers. That's iPhones. That's an archetype. It's sort of like a logo. It's an archetype. And we have these different archetypes, but not enough of us, because of the changes that have happened to women, especially in the last 50 years, we don't have an archetype for what it means to be a woman. So I really went to go to work on this, and what does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to be an empowered woman? What do we have to do to empower more women? This became sort of my calling. So although I wrote my first book about, you know, kind of this transformation in body, mind, and spirit, it was really just a segue for what I wanted to do. And that's why sometimes we think we have to know the whole picture for our lives, and you don't. You just take the next step. And it's what I knew. So I also know you're best to do what you know, what you're already good at, and then allow that to begin to unfold into what you really want to do. So I wrote the first book. I self-published it, sent a copy off to Hay House Publishing, sent a copy off to Wiley Publishing. Both of them, the only two publishers that I tried to get a book deal with, offered me a book deal. I flew down to California. It was amazing. I did a 3-book deal with Hay House. They were extraordinary. I was able to connect with many, many of the different Hay House authors. Funny enough, I get booked to do a cruise with Deepak Chopra called A Journey to Healing. I'm in Toronto. It's a VIP meeting, and I'm there. And into the room comes this vivacious woman with dark hair, and she comes up to me and says, "Oh, my God, you're going to be a household name." And I don't have a clue who she is. She's like, "Oh, my God, you don't know. You're going to be huge." And I still don't know who she is. And it ends up being Colette Baron-Reid. And Colette Baron-Reid and I have gone on to do some extraordinary work in the world. But I found out after somebody said to me, "Do you know who she is?" She's like an incredible intuitive counselor. She reads for like the royal family and all the A-list celebrities and producers, and she's got clients in like 30 countries all over the world, and she's read like 100 or whatever it is. And I was like, really? But there I was pinching myself. Only a short time earlier, a few years earlier, I was watching Deepak Chopra on Oprah, hearing about this for the first time, and now I'm in a room with him, being booked on a cruise, and meeting. It was just mind-blowing that when you start to get on the right path, and I was really clear about my intention. My intention was I want to build this global coalition for women, and I want it to be called Simply Woman. And so the journey began. And, you know, as it's gone on, I've had the opportunity to meet with and work with some of the most extraordinary people in the world: Marianne Williamson, Louise Hay, Dr. Christiane Northrup, Colette Baron-Reid, Greg Braden, some of the amazing people that when I finally got really clear that I want to build first an empowerment coaching program to really teach women how to become empowered in their own lives, and then to teach them how to take that into their communities and their world to empower other women. So that was my first step. So I called it the S.W.A.T. Institute, Simply Woman Accredited Training Institute. And it was a lot of work building that baby. And it's just beginning to blossom now. It's 4 years in that I can look at it now and go, wow, look what we've built, look what we've done. So for those of you that are looking at my screen right now, this was the S.W.A.T. Institute. And I got to tell you, there's a delay when I move, so I don't want to move my screen too fast. But this was a video I did. This was this sort of welcome message. And I developed sort of this program: become a coach, get a coach, attend an event, take a tour. Now, we didn't have get a coach back then because we didn't have graduates, and we didn't have what we have now, which is a mentorship coaching program. And I want to just quickly show that to you because that is something that I am incredibly excited about. Oh, I'm all over the place. Find a coach. Sorry, ladies, gentlemen, you're going to see that scrolling. So what we then decided, what I decided, and of course with my amazing team, Yvonne McRae is the dean of our school. I reached out to her. I started to reach out to different professors. I started to reach out to different guest faculty members, Louise Hay, Marion Williamson. I have this dream. That's literally what I said to them. I have this dream. I don't want this to be the Crystal Andrus Institute. This isn't the Andrus Institute. This has to be about women, and this has to be about many women. This has to be about all of us putting together our insight, our talents, our knowledge, our wisdom. And so I started to reach out to these different women. Will you help me? We will interview you. We'll do lectures with you. We'll feature your work in the program. Will you help me build this? And I didn't get one no. I literally had Louise Hay get on a call with me. I literally had Marianne Williamson. I literally had Greg Braden. These were just extraordinary calls, and they became guest faculty members, meaning that they did interviews, they did lectures, we used their material, we created tests, assignments around their material, and I started seeing this dream coming together. Now, I knew that wasn't my ultimate dream, because the ultimate dream was, how do we go into impoverished rural communities and big cities to help really the women that are around the world right now that have a voice and can't use it? How do we get out there and we help women in countries right now where they literally would be killed if they were caught dancing and singing in public? I mean, this is going on, and it has to change. But it only begins by the Dalai Lama saying the Western woman, and it doesn't mean the Western as in over here in Canada, because we have women from all over the world. It's that woman that realizes she has opportunities in her own country that other women don't have in their countries. We need to use our voices. So the first thing that we did is we built this Find a Coach. And what it is actually a mentorship coaching program, which means that any woman anywhere in the world can now come to the S.W.A.T. Institute, put in their name and their email address, and get coached by one of our empowerment coaches in training at absolutely no charge. So we offer free coaching. So any woman anywhere, right now, any of you that are on the phone and you think, I could use a coach, you can sign up for that. We will get you started with coaching with our extraordinary coaches, and these women are extraordinary. And it's a way for them to help build their coaching practice, their coaching style, at the same time supporting you. And I work with them all one-on-one. This is a 12-month full-time or 3-year part-time program. So this was really exciting that we had this mentorship coaching program that now we can start to help women who don't have the money, who can't do this, who couldn't even imagine taking a course, let alone finding a coach. The next dream that I had was, again, let me just click around, our safe havens. So this is a 2016 project that we want to build Simply Women safe havens in impoverished countries. And really remaining culturally sensitive. This is not about us, a group of us going in and building a safe haven and then telling all the people there that they need to be like us. It's going in and really supporting the women in their areas, bringing engineered food to communities that lack agriculture, really teaching the female leaders of those communities equality and safety, nutrition, outreach. It's getting enough women together that we can present to the United Nations, which is my dream for hopefully 2016. Fingers crossed, maybe earlier, but 2016 is really the dream of what we want to do in the world. And we need many of us to do this. We need many of us to be a part of this. Again, don't get too far ahead of yourself. I'm not asking anyone to go to Africa and build a safe haven with me unless it's really a dream of yours. But, you know, we started looking at all this and saying, how can we do this? Well, if we could put a percentage of all of everything we make off the S.W.A.T. Institute into a fund, then we could do that. If we could sell, you know, this was sort of the brainchild. I'm starting to sort of walk this through. We can do this. If we get enough women, if we get enough, we can evoke changes in the world. We can sit before, you know, government bodies. We can make changes in laws. We can do this, but we have to have enough women that are empowered. So with that being said, I then built a Simply Women magazine. For those of you that just saw the change on this page, simplywoman.com. I'm excited. You know, Natalie Hughes, who is a dear soul sister of mine. She travels with me. She's at retreats. She plays music. She's on my radio show. She began this magazine with me, and now I would love to actually just quickly introduce you to Sasha. Sasha, are you on the line right now? Liz, if you don't mind, if you could see Sasha, *2 Sasha. and Sasha might be under a name that's not hers. Oh, dear. Sasha, I would love to be able to introduce you tonight. I am hoping you were on the host call. Maybe Sasha can call in on the host call, the host line. But Simply Woman is an online magazine, and what we want this online magazine to be, and we're just coming up to our year, and you can see Marianne Williamson there, a crusader. She's going into politics. You see Kate Northrup there, Dr. Christiane Northrup, her mother, Danielle Laporte, who's creating her own magazine. There's Colette Barron-Reed. Maybe these slides are moving. There's Colette. She writes for us. But we don't want this to be a magazine that's just for famous people or authors and leaders already. We really want this to be a magazine for all women. So I want to show everybody here on our magazine. Again, I'm getting to everything, the commission and the money and all that stuff, but I want to first show you this magazine under article submission. So simplywoman.com, if you go up here to the top, you'll see this link, and this link is article submission. When you click on that, it explains what we're looking for, and we really want this to be a community where like-minded women come together to share what they've learned and how they apply what they've learned to their daily lives. This is a magazine for any woman of any age from anywhere in the world to be able to submit a post with their own bio, their own photo, and it's not exclusive. Like I said, it's not just for experts and authors and leaders and bloggers. It's a space for real women who are willing to just share themselves, share their knowledge, share their authenticity, share what's going on in their lives, because women really are being called like never before to lift the entire collective consciousness and heal the world. So we would love for you to become a contributor to our Simply Woman magazine. We would love to be able to feature your work. We have featured contributors where we would love to share events that you have coming up, things you have going on. How can we share more? How can we invite you to share your gifts? Well, we want to be able to do that. We need your Twitter name. If you see sort of the submit down below, we need your name, your email, your URL, your website, your Twitter name, your Facebook page. We want to be able to promote you. We want to be able to do social media and drive people to your site and your things. So is Sasha there, Liz? Are you able to unmute Sasha's line? Liz, I don't know if you could let me know, just because I don't want to click around on my desktop.
I haven't found her yet, so.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
So Sasha is amazing. Sasha Sterling is our creative director. She's also the student liaison for the S.W.A.T. Institute. And for those of you still saying, what exactly is the S.W.A.T. Institute? Well, the S.W.A.T. Institute is this empowerment certification coaching program. And, you know, I know that there are, again, Liz, maybe we could do, I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, Liz, but I would love to hear if there's any students on the call right now to just, you know, maybe you could just share with anyone that's listening, what is the S.W.A.T. Institute? What has it done for you? What has it meant for you? This truly has become, and I know, and I know Beverly's there. Maybe you could unmute Beverly's line.
Okay.
Liz, thank you. But the S.W.A.T. Institute really is this extraordinary. Bev, I know you've graduated, you've gone through the program, you're now our Vice President of Business Development, and you're a professor for women's health and wellness. And so I want to just take a moment to turn the line over to you for a second for maybe you just to share, before we get into sort of the program tonight that we want to offer, the commissions and all of that, before we even jump into any of that, maybe share a little bit about just your feeling. I remember when you graduated, you actually said to me, Crystal, this is insanely huge. This is epic. This is life-changing. This is monumental. Those were the words you used when you described the S.W.A.T. Institute to me. Do you remember?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. And the experience of going through the S.W.A.T. Institute has put me in such a place in my life. It has been. I mean, it was something that I did for myself. It was probably the first time I ever invested in myself, you know, as a woman, as a mom, as, you know, everything that you sort of do through your life. And the process and the education and the realization and the transformation and everything that just happened over that 18-month process of going through all my S.W.A.T. studies and even my mentorship, you know, coaching of other S.W.A.T. students, and you know, the friendships that have been created since then, and moving forward with S.W.A.T. Since that time and moving out on my own, it's really just given me so many wonderful, brilliant things in my life. And I think probably one of the biggest things and the best things of going through the program in and of itself is it's just given me so many tools and so many great opportunities to be able to learn and to grow and to really blossom into the woman that I am today, and really realizing too that it's that constant movement and momentum and moving forward and energy that's created from all of that.
Yeah, it's it was a dream of mine, and then to build it, my fingers were always crossed, and I joke, Bev. I think I wrote you an email today to say I'm still building the runway while the plane is taking off. I mean, I'm always, now SWAT is built, but we're always in this. But I've kind of learned that's the way you get things done. It's like you just dig in and you just go at it. And so that's what we really did. We built SWAT, and now it's built, and it's extraordinary. And it's time that this is really shared with the world. It is not just a coaching program. It is the mentorship coaching. It is the Simply Woman Safe Havens. It is the magazine. It is all those things that, it really is time that we really give a voice to so many women. And Debbie, I think you can speak to this, that, I truly have the purest intention for wanting this to be about all women.
Yes, and that's absolutely the best thing about SWAT, is it's about all women, it's about collaboration, it's about working together, it's not about competing with each other, it's creating a sisterhood, a group, that tribe aspect of, women come together and we share, and that's really what we're great at. We're great at creating community, we're great at sharing, and it's something that we do every day, and we always do with each other, is we want to share our information, give each other the knowledge that we have and that we've gained, and really that's what you and what SWAT are all about.
Yes, totally. I'm actually going to just take everyone quickly for those of you. Again, I'm not trying to sell SWAT tonight. A lot of you are already in SWAT. Some of you are not. But I just want you to understand what we are going to be getting to in a moment to ask you to be a part of with us. So I'm actually going to take you into, let me see. Oh, sorry for clicking around. Here we go. So for those of you that are like, what is SWAT? I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, like a tour, for what the SWAT Institute is all about. So because I want you to feel like, wow, this is extraordinary. Yes, we have our mentorship coaching program. Yes, we actually take women. Yes, we have this incredible Facebook page, just the Facebook page. When you see the threads, I mean the coaching that goes on there back and forth. Someone's got an issue. We have 100, 200 comments and back, deep, honest, authentic. This is what I would do. This has happened to me. This is how, just the support for each other alone is worth so much. We also have unlimited for a lifetime. When someone joins SWAT, for the rest of their life, they're, in other words, part of the sisterhood. So they get live weekly coaching calls with me. We get continual feedback on your website, on your niche. What are you building? How can we help you? We're all involved in that. It goes on forever. And a lifetime of free coaching. When you are a student or a graduate of the SWAT Institute, you always have coaches there for you as part of our mentorship coaching for the rest of your life. That in itself is worth the price of tuition. And we haven't even gotten into what you'd be signing up to. So getting started, I just want to show you, the SWAT Institute is 3 modules, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, and there's a final exam. And I'm just going to open up the Getting Started module with you today, just to give you an idea. Now, I have it on as you're seeing it from the setting. I'm going to switch my role to a student over here, and that should change some of that over on the side. So when you get started with the SWAT Institute, there's sort of like an orientation. It takes you through all the modules, your book list, the 12-week telecourse, which is a prerequisite course that I run. It's a really, let's walk the walk before we talk the talk. Let's really do the deep healing, the telecourse. Our mentorship coaching program, our ambassador program. We're going to get into that tonight. We have our live calls. Sasha has calls. I have calls. Meeting your professors. And each one of these things open up. So, for example, if I were to show you the ambassador program is what we're going to be talking about tonight a little bit, talking about how can we all be a part of sharing something. SWAT, and it's not just SWAT. I want to be really clear. I'm going to be paying you to share this coalition. I want to pay you to share the coalition, not if somebody signs up to the SWAT Institute. If somebody decides to come and listen to an empowering call put on by another woman, I'm going to pay you. If someone decides to come in and take a quiz to find out if they have empowered communication, I'm going to pay you. If they decide even further to sign up to something that costs, that actually they put money out, I'm going to pay you really big money on that. So we're going to get into that in just a sec. So let's just go back to our pages. So we have the Simply Woman magazine that we would love to help you share your message and to help you share the magazine with people. We'll pay you for that. Of course, this is how you can, the article submission here under article submission at simplywoman.com. Our Simply Woman Safe Haven, something I'm so proud of, our actual learning platform. Again, I'm going back to this for those of you that are looking at all my. So, for example, Module 1. Module 1 is three courses: nutrition and physiology, psychology, women's health and wellness. So let's, for example, open up nutrition and physiology, which our Dean, Yvonne McRae, is on the line tonight, and I don't even know if she's actually able to make it with us live tonight. But if we go down here, this is Yvonne, and this is how it works. It's like you have 12 lessons in nutrition. Nutrients, digestion, carbohydrates, fats, protein, vitamins, water, minerals, healthy diet, mom and baby, weight loss and energy, fitness, cleansing. Each one of these, as you open them up, there is an audio, there's a video, there's an assignment, there's PDFs. It's really an extraordinary program the way that we've built it. So I don't want to spend too much time getting into what SWAT is, because for those of you that say, I do want to promote this, I would love to share this. I would love to share this magazine. I would love to share this coalition. I'd love to be a part of it. I just want you to feel the strength of knowing this is solid. This is a very solid, amazing program, and I'm going to bring you into what we're offering tonight. So this page here, anybody can go to it, even on your own computer, and just to be there live yourself. If you don't want to go through my screen, open up a new window. Just go to SWATinstitute.com/ambassadors. So that's what we're looking at right now, is this ambassador program that we're creating right now. And again, I want to be clear, it's not just about will you promote the SWAT Institute to people in your life. It's will you promote a global coalition for women, free mentoring, safe havens, a magazine. Will you promote, and can we promote you in return? So let's first talk about what this global coalition is, and what I'm really asking is for you to join the movement with us tonight. Like you can see here, I love this page. We just had it finished up today, but we know you have things going on in your own life. You have your own mission. You have your own vision. You have your own goals and dreams. Maybe you're really involved in SWAT already, so this is even more in alignment with who you are. Maybe you're just finding about this amazing program tonight for the first time, and again, Liz, maybe you could just line up. Start two for anyone who is a SWAT student that maybe would like to share a little bit what they feel about the SWAT Institute. And Liz, you can unmute lines, so I'm not even involved in that. But start two, anyone that's on the phone tonight that maybe would just want to share with some of the people listening, is this an important program? Is this something that you can feel like you want to share? Because here's how we want to help you help us. Again, I'm scrolling down the page, and I hope that it's okay. When you go to this yourself, SWATinstitute.com/ambassadors, you're going to see this video, and you'll be able to watch the video. If I play it right now, it's going to be delayed, and it's going to skip a little bit. But really what we're asking is for you to join as an ambassador of this global coalition, not just the SWAT Institute, but all of it. As women, we're networkers. As people, we're networkers. The truth is, if we see a movie that we love, we're going to tell a bunch of people. And now with social media, that number could be like 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000 people. Sometimes things just start to go viral. And really, that's all that we're asking of you, but we want to pay you money to do that. So we don't want you just to, I guess the point is we know you have to believe in what you're promoting. When you're telling your friends about something you love, something that's important, something that's meaningful, why not get paid doing that? This is not multi-level marketing, not that that's a bad thing, but this is not anything like that. What we're really suggesting and sharing is that if you would be willing to share any of the things that we're offering, for example, this call tonight. Let's say you had shared this call tonight with people in your life. There's two levels of how you can make money. The first level is we just pay you $1 for every person that comes on the line. So let's say you've got a great list. You're on social media. You have a fan page. You have a Facebook page. You're on Twitter. And we would send you your own. Every single person will get their unique ambassador link. It's a little embedded link. And when you post that on Facebook, or when you post that on Twitter, or when you post that on your website, on your newsletter, when you share that, it will drive people over to something we're doing. So, for example, on April 15th, I'm doing an amazing call with 4-time Olympic rowing champion, Silken Lawman. She's an extraordinary woman. She's married to David Patchell Evans now. He's the owner of all the Good Life Clubs. This is a power couple. These are amazing people, and I've been friends with David for many, many years. We're going to do a call that night called Unsinkable. We're going to be giving away 5 Good Life memberships that to be used at any club across Canada. So that's going to work for Canadians. We're also going to be giving away tuition to the S.W.A.T Institute to one lucky woman. We're also going to be giving away a bunch of my 12-week telecourses. So there's a telecourse that starts in May. We're going to be giving away signed books. This is a no-brainer for you. You're literally going to be saying to your friends, your family, people on Facebook, if you have a list, you got to come and do this call. You got to listen to this call with Silken Lawman. You have a chance to win. Literally, we're giving away $15,000 in prizes that night to people who are on the line. So you share that. They come in and they come on the line, and we have a way to track it, and you can see it. Everything's transparent. You can see everything. If you got 1,000 people to come to that call that night just because you hustled for 2 weeks prior to it, we send you $1,000. But that's just the beginning. We would send you $1,000 if you got 1,000 people to show up on the call that night. And I have to tell you, I've had people, we've done calls in the past where we've had 5,000, 6,000 people on a call. Basha, who might be listening here tonight, she was able to drive 3,500 people to a call once and made $3,500 just because she shared this excitement that she had for the S.W.A.T Institute. But that's just small potatoes to what you can make. Because then if that visitor, let's say that visitor has come on and they've listened to this call with Silken Lawman, or they've listened to a call about anything. It doesn't matter what they sign up for. We're going to be having different campaigns every month. So let's say they say, oh my gosh, I want to put my name in that drawing to win free tuition to the S.W.A.T Institute. And it doesn't have to always be something that they sell. But let's say they come into our world, they sign up, and then they say, wow, I'd love to take that 12-week I didn't win it, but I'd love to take it. Or I'd love to actually take that coaching program. We're then going to give you 25% commission. 25% commission just by sending somebody over to our site. The cookies track it. You can check in every day. You can go, oh, I wonder how many people I sent over to that website today. Holy cow, oh my God, someone signed up. You can easily so if somebody signs up to the coaching certification, we send you a check for $1,000. Shelley Allen. Is Shelley on the line? I don't know if Shelley Allen's on the line, Liz.
She is. I'll unmute her line
Unmute
right
Shelley.
now. Yep. There
Hey,
you
Shelley,
go.
how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I know, I'm just throwing you on the spot. Shelley, didn't you just get a check for $1,000 the last week or the week before?
I did. It was lovely.
Wasn't that just nice to get in the mail?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wonderful. And, it all started really 2 years ago when I signed up for the 12-week telecourse because I came on board then as an ambassador, but I kind of stayed in the background because I just, I've been in the affiliate marketing and direct sales industry for many, many years, and sometimes you just really have to get a feel for the program.
That's right, absolutely.
Are they walking their talk? Are they doing what they say? So I really kind of stayed in the background and went through my 12-week telecourse and loved it so much. A few months later, I signed up to become a S.W.A.T student. I'm halfway through that, and my light bulb came on just maybe, 3 or 4 months ago. I went, oh, my God, I'm an ambassador. I've got to promote this because it is everything and more than what Crystal even talks about. I mean, it just is. And, yes, I got my $1,000 check a couple weeks ago. And it is what it is. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and you know what? I love what you're saying, that the $1,000 check is wonderful, and it's a great way to make money. And all the dollars, that's another thing we've just added. So anyone that just comes and looks, that's our problem. If we can't convert them into a sale, you shouldn't be penalized. If you can get people over to the site, at least you feel like, well, at least I'm doing my part. But we're working really hard to be able to make sure these programs are so extraordinary. We're spending so much time with our ambassadors and our admission advisors to create beautiful tours and beautiful tour guides, and a lot of stuff is changing just coming up in the next week. Beautiful stuff so that this website will just, the ambassadors will say, wow, this is so easy to drive people over here. This is an incredible program. It's incredible value. It's easy to share. We're really making, all of those forms and those PDFs and stuff, so it's just so easy for anyone to share this. We'll write the Facebook post for you. We'll write the email copy for you. We'll write the tweets for you. We literally will do how-to. We're doing them now. Shelley, you and Bev are doing how-to videos to,
We are.
just create, so it really becomes easier for someone that says, I would like to share this. How can I do this? How can you make this easy for me? So even for your perspective as a SWAT student, I know you say, but it really is something special, isn't it?
It's very special. It really, I mean, there really are, for me, no words to describe it. I mean, other than it really is special. I mean, what it can do for women, what it's done for me, I mean, it's just, I can't even believe it. I mean, I can believe it because I'm living it, but boy, if I would have had a crystal ball, wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Hold tight, Shelley. Liz, is there anyone else that's maybe raised their hand that maybe we could just chat with? My screen is just sitting open here.
Yeah, we have Sasha on the line.
Sasha, let's unmute Sasha.
Okay, I just unmuted her. There you go.
Hey, Sasha, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Crystal?
I'm great. I'm so glad you were able to get on the call tonight. So, Sasha, first talk, because you were first a student before you were a student liaison and before you were the creative director of the magazine. Talk to everybody first tonight about just the whole movement, what you felt, being a part of it, being a part of the school, that people can really, or anyone listening tonight, can really feel excited and sure that they can share this in a big way and know that we're going to come through for them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Gosh, it's hard to even talk about without getting emotional. I was at such a crossroads in my life when I came across the S.W.A.T. Institute and your message, and I really knew something had to change, and I knew that there was greatness inside of me, but I really felt stuck. And I got on a live call, and I thought, oh, I'll win that free tuition, and I didn't, but I wasn't able to shake it. So a week later, I signed up, and very much like Liz, it was definitely the best investment I could have made in myself. So these 3 years have just been a process of becoming and trusting myself more and cultivating courage and confidence and enjoying friendships in a new way. So I can't say enough positive things about it.
Yeah, I know. It's been extraordinary. And then and now you're a student liaison, so let's talk a little bit about the calls that you do every Monday with everyone.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Monday calls are a way for everyone to feel connected, because in this online world, I know there's
And don't worry about your kitties. If you have little kids making noise in the background, I know you get stressed by that, so if that's your kids, just know you're a mama.
Okay, yes,
okay.
my 3-year-old here holding my hand. So
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I know the Monday calls were kind of an answer to address that intimidation or the overwhelm of signing up for this new course. And of course, my other
No, it's okay,
now.
Sasha. I can just feel you're like, oh my God, my kid's coming in the room right now. It's all good. It's all good. Sasha, how much do you love our magazine?
I love it. I am
Kids
so
are screaming. They're all excited. Mommy's happy. The magazine is great. You have a lot of ideas and plans for the magazine, so we'll have another call with you about that. But I'm so excited to have you on board. We have so many huge ideas for what we're going to do with this magazine and to really get such empowered messages out around the world from, we want millions of contributors. Oh, dear. Jeez. Sasha, I won't keep you. I know you got your hands full there right now at dinner time on the West Coast. So
yes.
Thank you, Sasha.
Thanks, Crystal.
Okay. Liz, anyone else that want to share or any questions? Do we have any questions about what we're sharing tonight?
Yeah, I don't see any questions. I do have Danae's on the line.
Danae, let's open up the line for Danae.
There you go.
Hey, Danae, how are you? Is Danae there? Hey, Danae. Well, maybe we're having a little problems. Listen, that's okay. We're already getting to be close to the top of the hour.
Sorry.
There's Danae. Hey, Danae.
She's on Skype.
Hey, I'm sorry. I had it muted.
That's okay. You're on Skype, so it's a little funny. Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Can you
Danae,
hear me okay?
I think there's a little delay. Liz, are you hearing that delay too?
Yeah, I am.
So I think we'll just do I think this, unfortunately.
I'll mute her.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Danae, I love you. Deb, I do want to turn it back over to you. I want to talk about the ambassador program tonight, and I know that you're now, taking the reins on this program, and just how exciting it is, and if there's anything you want to share tonight, or just to encourage people how they can get started, how they can find out more information, and to be part of this team with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Crystal. So as Crystal, sort of pointed everybody over to the SWATinstitute.com /ambassadors page, there's links on there where you can, go ahead, watch the video, read lots about it, understand, what's involved in the program, which are some of the things that Crystal already touched on tonight. And I'm just really excited about the program and excited about being able to really get SWAT out there, even bigger and more involved than it is right now, to just touch the lives of so many women. And that's what our ambassador program will really allow us to do. So from that ambassador page, there is the link. You'll see something that'll say "Count Me In."
I'm going to click on it right now.
So
I'm going to show everyone. When you go to that page and you click "Count Me In," it's going to open up to an ambassador sign-up form, if you can all see that. And here you'll just put in your name, your email, confirm your email. If you know this information, this is so we can pay you. Literally, pay me with PayPal. Click that off. Or pay me with email if you want electronic transfer. You'll put that in. How did you find out about us? If what's the list of size of your list? It's okay if it's not a big list right now. How do you reach your followers? And then just click here to join. And then from there, you will get just a pending email to say, just give us it's going to be a lot of people coming in. We already have over 400 people that have signed up to our ambassador program. This is going to be a movement, and we are going to support you. We have our Facebook page here, which will be for ambassadors over here. You'll be invited to come into this private Facebook SWAT ambassador page, where we will, really constantly be updating on, this is what we're working on. These are campaigns. This is how you're going to get the tweets. This is how you're going to get your face. This is how you're going to do this. Do you want to be a rock star ambassador? Do you want to make a huge amount of money? You know what? We would love for you to make a huge amount of money. I would love for us to be able to sell a SWAT sale every day for you. I would love for you to make $1,000 every day. And that's what we can do. And if it was once a week, if we could close one of your leads once a week, we are passionate about closing those, not just because we want the women to take the course. We want women around the world to be empowered. And the only way we're going to do this is we have to join forces. So, Bev, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I know I can just talk and talk and talk.
Yeah, no, thanks, Crystal. So, and one of the things that we really want to encourage and offer you as well is, part of the program is we'll have those monthly calls that'll be coming up, and we'll be providing you with all the information you need, which I think is so key in creating a successful ambassador program. Is we'll be providing you with, sample Facebook posts, tweets, images, banners, those sort of those one-off swipe copy emails that you'll want to send out to your lists. When you have them available, you can do so many things to promote it. You can blog about us. You can, talk about your experiences with a 12-week course in the past. Have all of those things available to you, and then just using that unique ambassador code to get, to let everybody know about what you're doing, and then to make that connection back to you so that we can pay you out, as Crystal talked about, with the $1 a lead and the 25% on the sales. And, all that information is going to be available to you in the Ambassador Control Center once you're signed up for it, so you'll be able to find out more about that. But there's lots of other things we're going to have going on and giving you lots of great ideas for how to promote the event, really encouraging you, and like Crystal said, becoming that rock star ambassador for SWAT, and doing, again, just going back to doing what you're already doing. You're already telling people about us, so, why not start to make some money doing that, and really be able to create some revenue from the list, from your Facebook, and from all those things that you've already got available out there to do. So we're going to have that all for you, as well as those how-to videos like Crystal mentioned about just going into the control center and how to find the information, what you can do with it. Little tips and tidbits we'll include on that Facebook page as well about using, when you shrink your links and all those great things to make sure that everything's being tracked properly, because there are some, little nuances and ins and outs, and we want to make sure that we can help to promote you to make you successful.
And that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Beverly. And bear in mind, while we're saying all of this, it always has to be a win-win. I really really learned in all my years that nothing works unless it's a win-win for everyone. It has to be a win for me. It has to be a win for Bev. It has to be a win for Liz and Christine, who's, I don't know if Christine is on the line tonight, one of our admission advisors, has been with me for many years. It has to be a win for Sasha. It has to be a win for you. And so not only do we want you to share this, remember, we want to share your work too. We want to share what you have going on. We want you to get over to the Simply Woman page as well. We want to feature your work. We want to feature you right up there with Colette Barron-Reed or with Marianne Williamson. We want to be able to feature you with, you know, with all of the different things that we have going on as well. Under events up here on my page, we want to be able to put on events that you have coming up, things that you're doing. This really has to be one huge, big win-win for all of us. So I just really hope that your questions, we were able to answer them tonight. To go to SWATinstitute.com/ambassadors, find out about it, fill in the form. Within the next day or two, we'll be going through and we're just going to start approving everybody and saying, yes, welcome. This week will be dedicated to just helping you get started and really get this program up and going, because it is time. It's time for thousands and thousands of women around the world to really step into their power. It's time for you to financially be able to, you know, support yourself in a way where you feel good about what you're sharing. You feel great about what you're selling. And I don't even want to say selling. It's just what you're sharing. We share every day anyway. So let's share things we love. Sharing the magazine, you can get clicks and make money. Sharing, there's so many ways for you to make that dollar a click. Once you sign up, we're going to give you some really detailed emails to really help you through the process. But for now, this call is just really a think about it. Think about it. If we've spoken to your heart, if it's excited you in any way, then we would love to continue working with you. So, Bev, anything last you want to say to anyone tonight, and we'll just get ready to end the call.
All I'd like to say, Crystal, is I'm really excited to have the opportunity to work with all these great people that are, you know, these women that are going to become part of our ambassador program, and, you know, just let them know we're out there to answer any questions that they have, and moving forward, they'll just have, you know, lots of great information, and we're really open to whatever their feedback may be.
Yes, fabulous. So thank you, everyone. Liz, any last thoughts you want to say before we say goodbye?
Oh, my goodness, I'm so excited.
Can you tell I'm tired? Can you tell? Do I sound a little tired tonight? I got to tell you, my voice is like, I'm like,
this is amazing.
It is
I
amazing.
am so excited.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I got to tell you, I've had this dream for so long. I literally see, you know, I was able to go to the United Nations last year and just to witness, just watch, and I just saw it. I just knew there was something so big happening, and there are so many incredible women. And when we come together, just like those men knew 5,000 to 6,000 years ago when they said, we got to not consider them people, we got to ban them, we are powerful. And when we come together, we really can move mountains. Women really are going to heal the world. So I want to just really urge you to step into your power. If SWAT is something that you might be considering, fabulous. If you might be considering sharing it, fabulous. If you want to consider writing for our magazine, fabulous. This is all about all of us. This is all about all of us and doing the work that we need to do to become empowered in all the areas of our own life so that we can then go out into the world and make a difference for women who really, really need our help. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Yvonne, Christine, everyone who's part of my team, my husband, Aaron, who is always the wind beneath my wings, and to you for joining us tonight on a busy Sunday evening. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll catch up with you soon.